Welcome to this very brief launch of the Purple Piano House, and thank you very much indeed for coming along and sparing a bit of time. The Purple Piano House is in a way a new concept for young pianists and teachers. What it is, it's an extended piece made up of lots of little pieces, all pulled together by a story. And there's going to be a performance of it in a few moments. And I rather hope that this whole thing will really appeal to young learners and maybe will entice them to do maybe just a little bit more practice. I've certainly tried it out on a number of pupils and a number of friends have tried it out on theirs too. And generally there's been a really rather an enthusiastic thumbs up. It's based on a lovely story by Sam Edinburgh about two children called Zump and Sudi who discover a magical purple piano house that has a very special and exciting secret. It's based very much in the world of grade 1 to 2 and explores many of the ingredients found while preparing for grade 1 or simply being around the grade 1 level. You certainly don't need to be doing exams. It explores keys and rhythms, pianistic textures, articulations, lots of musical characterization all around about that sort of level. It also includes a little opportunity or some opportunities for improvisation, and it could be used for sight reading. But most importantly, it presents an opportunity for performance with the words spoken by maybe a friend or a parent or other relative or teacher. So let's have a listen and a look at the piece now. And I hope that there may be some questions from you or thoughts at the end, which you can type in on the little chat or comment area of this particular page. You'll find it somewhere on this page. So here is a performance of the Purple Piano House.
Zump and Sudi were brother and sister, and they lived in a normal house in a normal town and did normal things. One afternoon after school they were relaxing by a river. The sun shone warmly and the birds sang tunefully while they chatted happily together. As they gazed into the water, Sudi turned to her brother and said, "Zump, I've been thinking. Sometimes I wish things weren't so normal. I wish we could get away from the noisy road and traffic jams. I wish something a little more exciting would happen." Zump agreed. "It's not so bad by this river, though. It's so quiet and peaceful." But as he spoke, a strange sound began drifting over the water. It was a funny, bumpy sound. And was so out of place that Zump and Sudi jumped up straight away and set off to find out where it was coming from. As they rounded a clump of trees, they saw the oddest thing. It was a house, but there was nothing normal about it. It was purple and shaped like an enormous piano with windows, a door and chimney pots. The music they heard changed. It became sweeter. Sump and Sudi were enchanted by what they saw and what they heard. Just before they reached the front door, which had huge piano pedals as steps, a well-dressed man and a well-dressed lady appeared from inside. They were wearing purple clothes. Sump and Sudi thought they looked familiar. The two children stared in wonder as a jolly, jaunty tune emerged from the house. The gentleman smiled at Sump and Sudi and said, "I'm Professor Haber, and this is my wife." "I'm Professor Key," she said. Sump and Sudi still stared and suddenly realized it was their long-lost great-uncle and aunt, their two eccentric and scientific relatives they'd heard so much about from their mother. "Come in for a cup of tea and a big piece of piano cake," said the professors. The bumpy sound started up again. Sump and Sudi accepted the kind invitation because they wanted to find out exactly what was inside the purple piano house, and to taste the cake. Once inside, they found themselves in a grand hallway with a floor of purple marble. "Has it been a boring day today, Sump?" asked both professors. "Yes," shouted Sump. "Has it been a thrilling day today, Sudi?" "No," shouted Sudi. "Well, we've got something thrilling to show you. We're inventors," explained the two professors, who always talked together. The two of them began pacing up and down the stairs, which not only looked like the keys of a piano, but made a piano sound too. "It's our greatest invention," they shouted excitedly. "You see, the whole house is a piano." And they played their favourite tune. Sump and Sudi were flabbergasted. "Come and listen to our cellar." And in a blink the professors leapt down the stairs to the basement, where they kept the spare strings. And in another flash they were upstairs, hopping about in a blur of dancing steps. "But there's something much more exciting about the purple piano house," said the professors tantalizingly. And in a whisper, they revealed its greatest secret. It can fly. And everyone cheered. "But it's no ordinary travelling machine," the professors added, rather mysteriously. "It can travel through space and time too. We'll go for a ride." The professors twiddled with switches and levers and dials, but it wouldn't take off. "What's wrong?" asked Sudi. "Not enough notes, young lady. We need more noise." And with that, the professors ran to the top of the piano key staircase and came crashing down, making as much noise as possible. But in their desire to make so much sound, something terrible happened. The piano went silent. It made no sound at all. "It's blown a fuse," said the professors. "Up to the engine room." The professors led them to a large room on the 3rd floor of the piano house. "Phew," panted the professors. "Now which of these fuses needs fixing?" Zub and Sudi were astonished. There must have been 1,000 fuses, each in its own little fuse box. The search began. "Aha, here's the one. Now we have to fix it with a tune," mumbled the professors. Zump tried this one. Nothing happened. "Right tune, wrong key," said the professor. "Try it in C major." "Ah, right key, but the last note was wrong. Try it again." "That's the perfect phrase to mend a fuse," both professors announced together with delight, and they played a fanfare. Then they all made their way back downstairs for hot tea and delicious piano cake. "Now," continued the professors, "let's play," and they asked Zump and Sudi to join in. The professors began playing first. They started gingerly, being careful not to blow any more fuses. Zudi made high sounds that tinkled like silver buttons falling on a plate. And Zump's melody was mellow, like soft caramel chocolate, neither too high nor too low. Suddenly the whole purple piano house began to move. The professors grinned delightedly. "Here we go," shouted Zump and Sudi. And so the purple piano house, with the professors and Zump and Sudi safely inside, began to fly. Over the countryside they flew, over that river they'd recently been sitting by, over the noisy town they live in, and off on their next adventure. Zump.
So there it is. I have had a couple of questions that have come through. One was wondering about the names Zump and Sudi. And in fact, they're real names. And Zump, Johannes Zump, or Zumper I expect he was called, was in fact an 18th century piano maker. And he worked with a Burkat Zudi, who was in fact an 18th century harpsichord maker. So they may well be a port of call in a further adventure, I should imagine. And another question asks about this pairing up a story with music. And without going into too much detail or giving you a long answer on why I think that's a good thing, I'd just like to give you one thought really, which is that it will open up the imagination. It's a route into a young person's imagination and making strong connections between ideas and pictorial ideas and emotions with the music. And I think that will be a very helpful thing to work with, and really, might help a lot of youngsters begin to think about how we actually make music express whatever it is they wish to express. I think that's all the questions that have come through so far. This video will be live just as a YouTube video shortly when it's processed. Copies are now available. They should be available through all good shops, virtual or live. I do happen to know it's available from Presto Music. If you know Presto Music online, they certainly have copies in, and it should be available from Amazon soon too. So just remain for me to say thank you so much for sharing this launch with me today, and if you do use Purple Piano House, do get in touch. Either you will already or through my website, and I hope you and your pupils will very